with Gary Beadle. I play Titus Coventry in Banksy's The Room in the Elephant.
And I'm Emma Callander and I'm the director. So in 2011 I found an article that was, it had the headline, "Did Banksy's latest work bring misery to a homeless man?" And I was quite intrigued. So it was the story of T'Challa Covington, who was living in a water tank in Los Angeles. And I went to the writer Tom Wainwright, who's based in Bristol as well, and asked if he'd like to write a play about this. And we had a really interesting conversation about why we would want to write a play about this story and how we would go about it. And so it was a co-commission originally between Play Pint a Pint in Glasgow and the Tobacco Factory in Bristol. So we decided not to do any research out with the article itself, and the play was originally written from that. We then went to Edinburgh Festival in 2012, and then here at the Arcola and on its national tour, it's now a little different because we've got in touch with T'Challa, and the play is now doubled with a documentary about the story.
Well, doing a one-man show is something that I've never done before, and it's a real test because you're on your own, but it's a challenge also. And coupled with the fact that it's a really gripping story, a true story, I felt the need to approach this project with complete professionalism, in the sense of doing the story justice and certainly the character justice. And my main aim is to tell the story of T'Challa Covington's life in the water tank, and not only tell the story, but to, play a part in the story being remembered, which I think is really important, that people come and see the show and they're informed and they remember. And I think that's my job really, to convey a great, true story of someone who is resourceful and overcomes lots of obstacles in life.
People should come and see the show because it's a really good story. T'Challa Covington is an incredible, wild, colourful personality in real life, and we hope that some of that has come onto stage here. And it's a really important story about what's worth more, something that we've decided is art, or a man's home. And also about the importance that if someone's living outside of the system and they're not causing anyone any harm, should they be just allowed to live in peace? So the performance now, the first half is a play and the second half is a documentary, and that came about because after we created the play we got in touch with Hal Samples, who we found had been making a documentary called Something from Nothing, and Hal started to work on some visuals for the play, and then he came over to Britain to come and open the show here for the Edinburgh Festival, and then he brought T'Challa over to see the play, and it was an incredible day.
It was amazing. The fact that the guy who the story has been inspired by, graced us a few performances and sat in the front row and basically gave us the thumbs up as an artistic piece of theatre, in the sense of that it definitely conveyed a lot of the emotions that he'd been going through.
And this was his first time out of America, and his first flight that he'd ever taken, because he's a man who lives outside of the system. Absolutely.
And he's really quick to sort of remind us that that we need to sort of start thinking about our needs rather than our wants. And being a resourceful, spiritual type of guy, he's learned to live, how can I put it, an alternative existence, which certainly none of us in the Western world are encouraged to do. But his existence requires absolute faith and dedication and belief in being able to live a life without exploiting others.
The really exciting thing for us as well now is that him coming to see the play has been filmed, and so that's part of the documentary. So the experience of coming to see Banksy, The Room in the Elephant here at the Arcola and then on the national tour will be that you watch the original play and then you see the documentary, which also includes the documentation of T'Challa seeing the play for the first time. And it's pretty moving.
Really moving. You certainly get your money's worth. It is a great show.